Well, it's been a while since we've done an Azure Standard video, so let's get to it. This is kind of a big one. First, let's get started as always with the things that I processed from previous orders. I did run the freeze dryer and I freeze dried some blueberries and some of the peppers that I had gotten before. I canned up some small red beans that I got, and I made blueberry bourbon barbecue sauce out of the frozen berries that we got. We did a video for that if you're interested, and we also canned a bunch of frozen berries because, well, there was no room in the inn in Camp Kenmore, so I think it was like 75 pounds of frozen berries or 70 pounds or something like that we canned up so that we can use them later. We can make pie filling out of them or put them in oatmeal or yogurt or make syrup out of them or whatever we want to do with them later that doesn't involve being stuck in my freezer and taking up all the space. The other thing that I made that was one of the favorite things that I made this year from processing stuff in the garden is I made a bunch of these tiny little jars of a radish green pesto. Now the radish greens came from my garden, but I used almonds and sesame seeds that I had gotten from Azure Standard in bulk as the nuts for these because I just use what I have on hand. But this came out fabulous. And actually we used this pesto as the sauce for pizza with this organic mozzarella cheese that we got. You can see we tried that out already and it was awesome. Here's a quick shot of that pizza. Look at that cheese pull. I did do a video for this radish green pesto and just a recent video that I did, a Every Bit Counts challenge video that I tried to process all the bajillion radishes that we got in our garden. Okay, so other things that we got, things that I generally get when I'm buying things from Azure Standard, I look at the clearance section. So these Builder's bars, you can see Mr. Reeve has already gotten into those. They're mint chocolate, which sounds kind of weird for a protein bar, but they're actually really good. But I got them 50% off because they were like a week expired. Let's see, what else do we get? Little things. Protein powder. We're really trying to work into doing and eating and consuming non-GMO items. We don't want to do GMO anymore. Just leave it at that. And so one great thing about Azure Standard is they offer a lot of non-GMO products that isn't this huge specialty price. Like if you have a specialty store here in Alaska, we have just a couple specialty stores and things are really expensive if you want anything other than just like mainstream groceries. And so Azure provides a great opportunity for that. We do pay a bit in shipping, about 45 cents a pound extra on top of just the price of the item, but in most cases it works out pretty good. Okay, so that being said, this was organic mozzarella cheese. Cheese is one of the things that we really love, and one of the things that we are committing to switching over to organic and non-GMO. You know, we didn't win the lottery yesterday, so we can't switch everything over at the same time. But cheese is on the list. Cheese is on the list of things that we're switching over to non-GMO. So we got mozzarella this time, which was really good. And it actually wasn't much more than the mainstream decent brand stuff you can get at Walmart. So I was happy about that. Let's see what else. The protein powder, most high quality protein powders. Mr. Reeve likes to make smoothies with the goat's milk that we're getting. And since we only had one goat, well, that's why we have to buy cheese. Because we had one goat and milk this year instead of the 7 or 8 that we were supposed to have. But quality protein powder on average is about $1 a serving, and so is this. So and it's non-GMO and organic, so I was really happy about that. Excuse me. One of the other things that I got for Mr. Reeve is this is a highly concentrated electrolyte supplement. I have a friend, she has a little channel called Surviving Life Unplugged, and she is a sweetheart. If you guys are interested, I'll leave her the link to her channel in the description below. But she is really smart buying from Azure Standard, and so she tries out new things when you get extra Azure cash, and that's like you get a certain amount of money back for everything that you purchase. But I think some of these supplements were like 29 times the Azure cash back, so they were like almost 30% off. And so for me, that's a good time to try these kind of newer things. So we got an electrolyte supplement for Mr. Reeve to try, some decent vitamins. This is certified for the Non-GMO project, which just means that the certification comes when they're guaranteeing that these companies are not putting GMO materials or using GMO products to make this product. So for us, like I said, we're trying to move towards that as we can afford it. So that was great. Foo-foo hair stuff for me. We'll see. Not too much of a fancy person, but you know, sometimes you got to try it, right? Other things we got this time, I got this stone ground mustard because I wanted to try it. I have a friend, same friend, a Surviving Life Unplugged, said she really liked it and she wanted me to try to duplicate it, but I'm not a fan of it. So I probably will try to make a mustard recipe for her that's better than this mustard. But you might like it. I don't know. I don't like it. Okay. Other things quick. It's called mushroom popcorn, and it's not because it tastes like a mushroom. It is because it mushrooms up really big. It's supposed to be one of the largest kernels after it pops, for popcorn, and it's really good. I would say the only downside, I think, is that, you know, when a popcorn kernel pops, then you have like the little skin left on it, the little shell part that like sticks in the back of your throat. You can't ever get it out. This makes bigger ones of those because it pops into bigger kernels, and so that's been less than fun. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna buy this popcorn again. You can see it's already open because sometimes I like to buy things a whole lot in big bulk batches so that I can share with my friends, and so I shared some of this with my neighbor. Let's see what else we got going on. Okay, Gamma bucket lids. So I love food storage, yay, 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 and these Gamma bucket lids are awesome. We get 5-gallon food grade buckets from Walmart in town. You might be able to do it too if you go to their bakery section. They buy frosting in giant buckets, 3-gallon buckets or 2-gallon buckets and 5-gallon buckets sometimes. And you can get those buckets for like $1 when they're done using them. So it's a food grade bucket for $1. And then I buy these Gamma bucket lids 12 at a time. And when you buy them 12 at a time from Azure, I think including the shipping for me, I get them for about $7 a piece, which is about $2 or $3 cheaper than I get them anywhere else. Per lid, so that's great. And so I did order 12 of them, but I shared with my lovely friend Musher Becky, and so I gave her 6 of those. We're trading out a little bit of dog sponsorship. She's got some mushing dogs, and we sponsor some of her dogs every year, and so apparently I'm paying in Gamma bucket lids this year. Okay, quick, stop talking, Crystal. Okay, so Azure Standard now has canning jars, which I at first was like, man, I don't really like to switch canning jars. I want to know and feel comfortable with what I'm used to. So I'm not really going to do that. Well, then I tried to place an order, a pickup order from Walmart in town. And then I go to pick it up, and it was like 15 cases of jars that I had in my cart. And lo and behold, I got there and there wasn't even one. They had all been canceled out. And they still held all that money on my debit card for like 2 days. So I was not happy about that. But anyways, so I decided, fine, whatever. I'm going to order these Azure jars and see what I think. So I ordered these half-gallon jars. You can get 6 half-gallon jars. And I think I ordered them without lids and rings because I have a junk ton of lids and rings. And so I didn't want to pay extra for that. The half-gallon jars were cheaper than I could get at Walmart. And the pint jars were about $1 more per case, including my cost for shipping, to get them from Azure Standard. Now, I didn't mind paying $1 more for a case, so I paid like $3 more than I would have paid if I went to Walmart in town, but I could get them. And so for me, that was important. So I paid more so that I could get them. And I was pleasantly surprised because the canning jars, their weight is so much heavier. It's like they're thicker. They're not as perfectly clear, I think, as your normal like ball canning jars. And maybe that's because they're thicker, but I was very happy with the quality. And so I got a bunch of these. I also ordered some of the Superb lids. Now this is a new canning lid company. They've done a lot of research. They say that their lids will seal longer than your traditional lids that you're using now. And I did watch a video, I think from their factory. I think it was on Justin Rhodes' channel. But the rubber seal is thicker on these Superb lids, and it is wider so that you have a better chance of a really good seal on the rim of your jar. So I looked at how much are these going to cost on Azure standard plus the cost of shipping, right? Because I always have to think about that compared to if I just went to the Superb website. Well, they were like $3 a box cheaper getting it at Azure standard than the actual website. So I was really excited about that. I got a regular mouth and wide mouth lids. All right, let's see what else we got. I think we got all the stuff on the table figured out except for this stuff. Oh, I lied. Okay, so over there, excuse me, over there at the very bottom of the stack, which I don't think you can see it, but it's a case of organic onions. Now I could buy a case of organic onions for the same price as I can buy regular, not organic, same price. And so I got a case of onions. I think it's 40 pounds of onions. I'm going to try to make some onion jam out of it. Hopefully we'll make a video about that soon. I'll probably do a pickled onion video maybe, and then I have some to share. So that's awesome for me. Let's see, what's the second thing over there? I had a friend come over, Bill from Alaska's Last Frontier Homestead. If you guys know him, he doesn't do gluten. He doesn't like to do that. So he came over for dinner and he brought, I said, well, how about I make some Alfredo? And so he brought his own noodles because I didn't have wheat-free noodles. That just wasn't our thing. And so we cooked them up and they are delicious. So these Jovial noodles are fabulous. Like my whole life I have eaten wheat noodles and I just have never liked noodles. For whatever reason. Okay, you may love them and that's fine, but I don't. But these gluten-free noodles, I think they're rice noodles. They're fabulous. I think they're awesome. And so I bought a case, and I think I got that case 10% off because like the box is dented. Who cares? So, yep, noodles. Okay, I also bought a case of organic sweet corn, which I'm really excited about. It's like still like whole corn in the husk on the cob, all the things. And we're probably gonna just process those and freeze those, whatever we can't fresh eat real quick, because I sometimes try to buy the things that we can't grow here. Excuse me, goodness. Okay, we have 2 showstoppers left, but I want to tell you real quick that I always leave in the description below. I'll always leave you what did I pay for these things, what did I pay for shipping. I'll leave you a link to Azure Standard if you're interested in checking them out. And like I said, I'll leave the link to Surviving Life Unplugged's channel and probably Bill's channel and whatever else I promised you, it's going to go in there. When I edit this video, I will remember all the things I'm supposed to remember and tell you. Okay, showstoppers now. So this is 4 cases plus 4 bottles of 16-ounce glass bottles of safflower oil. Now, remember I talked about we're really trying to move into a non-GMO type of eating style as we can afford it. Well, oil is something that, I mean, other than lard or tallow, it's not really something that I can produce here. And we have bought an organic, like gallons of safflower oil before for making mayonnaise and cooking popcorn and things like that. But it's like $30. So it's a lot. That's a lot of money. But when I looked at Azure Standard, these were on sale because they were like a week expired, which I don't care about. That doesn't bother me. It's not an issue for me. These bottles were like $3.50 or something like that. So maybe $4 with the price of shipping. And so I bought 52 of them. That was the total. That's the total of bottles that they had available. So I bought 52 bottles. They were 50% off. And I paid, let's say, $4 a bottle for them. So 4 of these bottles is going to make a gallon. That's $16. So $16 for organic, non-GMO safflower oil is such a better deal than what I could get somewhere else. And if I was going to buy regular old GMO vegetable oil that's primarily soybean oil, super GMO product, it's $11 a gallon. So for me, like the extra $5 wasn't too much for me. that wasn't too much for me to pay, because this is something I'd really like to replace as a non-GMO item for what we're consuming, especially because we use a lot of mayonnaise. Maybe that sounds weird, but like I buy mayonnaise by the gallon. Well, a gallon of mayonnaise, like GMO mayonnaise, is like $20, $21 or something like that. And that's because I'm making my own salad dressings. We make pasta salad. We love dippy sauce, you know, and we got 434 pounds of potatoes. So I'll be making us some French fries. So we need some dippy sauce. So I bought this because we're making our own mayonnaise now. We'll probably do a video about that in the future. But we have quite enjoyed that. So I'm really excited to be able to replace something that we eat mayonnaise probably 2-3 times a week. We're eating mayonnaise. So if I can replace that GMO product with a non-GMO product, and when I make mayonnaise out of this oil, it's going to be significantly cheaper than the GMO mayonnaise I can buy in the store. Okay, so that soapbox spiel is over. One more thing. Hold on. Okay, we live off-grid. We live in a dry cabin, which means we don't have running water. We have very nice neighbors that let us fill up water in blue jugs, and that's our drinking water. And we also do rain catchment to feed the animals and sometimes water the garden. But this is a Berkey water filter. And if you watch any other homestead channels or off-grid channels, most everybody has one of these. They're really expensive. On Amazon, this Berkey water filter is $525. That's just too much money. Okay, now remember when I said my very sweet friend from Surviving Life Unplugged taught me about looking for the Azure cache and the extra Azure cache. So this was, I think it's 22 times the Azure cache. So normally you get like 1 time the Azure cache, right? So this is 22 times. Okay, so that being said, this item that's $525 on Amazon is $430 regular price on Azure standard. I think maybe it weighs 12 pounds or something. So I paid like $3 in shipping or something. So I'm not gonna worry about that. But with the 22 times Azure cache, it gave me $95 back. So $95 credit towards other purchases. So this, I saved like $200 from what I would have had to buy it just at Amazon. I don't even think we can buy it at Walmart. Anyways, so for me, this is the showstopper. We haven't opened the box yet. I'm really excited about getting it set up. It's the 3.25 gallons. I'm showing you the wrong side. 3.25 gallons, and it comes with 2 filters, and those filters are like $79, something like that. It's really expensive. And the 2 filters this comes with will filter enough water for 6,000 gallons. So I think we're gonna be okay for a while. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed our video. Don't forget to check out the links below, and have a lovely day. We'll catch you on the next video, guys.